Optimal Resume is a web-based resume program. It allows you to build a resume, make cover letters, acceptance letters, practice interviewing. If you're in a field that requires any kind of portfolio, you can create an online portfolio of your work and even create a website to post all these documents. It also centrally stores everything for you, so you have a central location for all of your resume and letters and portfolios and everything related to your job searching. So as long as you have internet access, you're able to get in. And like I said, all you need is to sign up for an account on Optimal Resume, which is free and simple to do, and you're ready to go. If you go through our website on www.rrpl.org and you choose on the left-hand side of our website, we have a menu and you can choose research resources, and then you'll get an alphabetical list. Just choose O, and then you'll see Optimal Resume there. Once you go on to the Optimal Resume website, the first thing you're going to want to do is create an account, which is simple. If you've done a web-based email account like Yahoo or Gmail, you go in, you create an email login and a password. And once you've logged in and stored that login, any of your documents that you create will be saved, and you can go back and edit them at any time. The resume module, which is probably the biggest draw to Optimal Resume, the first thing you're going to do when you come in here is go to Create New Resume. Every time you create a resume, you'll have to give it a name. You'll notice you can actually upload an existing resume if you have one. However, you can't edit that in Optimal Resume. And at this point, you'll be given a couple different choices where you can start. You can start with putting in the sections already for you in the beginning. You can start with a sample, or you can start from scratch with a blank resume. So the Browse section sets, if you look at that one, you'll see that they have you choose what level of career you're in and then what type of career. So you just choose the various categories, and then it will actually tell you what sections it's going to plop into the resume for you to begin. So once I choose, then I go in, and all I have to do then is click on something and it will let me edit that. Kind of like Microsoft Word, it gives you just a small text box to type in. And when you're finished, you click Save. At any time you can go back and re-edit. So if something changes, you get a new cell phone, any of that, you can do that. So each field will turn orange when you mouse over it and you're ready to input information. And over here on the right, you'll notice there's places you can style it or format it or use a spell checker. At any time, if you wanted to add more sections to the resume, for example, if they didn't have licensure or some other section on here that you wanted to include, you could go right over here on the right and choose to add a section, or if you wanted to move the sections around, the way they've got them ordered is not how you want, you can reorder them. So it's very user-friendly, very flexible, and they also provide tutorials and examples over here on the right, so if you get stuck and you're not sure what to put in a certain section, you can always go over and look for an example. So that's doing it one of the ways. You can also do it from a sample, and again, you have to tell them what career field you're in. So I will be maybe in the legal field, and choose what level you're in, and I will say I'm experienced. And then it will give you a couple of samples. You can see here with the number how many samples there are. And right here's my sample, so if I click on that, it will actually open it up and let me view it to see if this is what I would like to use. But when you choose Use This Sample, it actually allows you to go in and edit paragraphs that are already existing. So it actually gives you almost everything you need. You just need to fill in your personal information and kind of tweak it and make it your own. So this is a very quick and easy way to make a resume in probably 15 minutes or less. You'll notice while I'm in here that they actually have a toolbar at the top, and a couple things up here to point out. One of them is you can rename your resume at any time, and also you can download it to your own computer, because remember, this is centrally storing your documents on Optimal Resume. But you can also share from here, which is a very useful function. You can go in and either have your own link to your resume that you can email to people, or you can choose to use one of the social networking sites if you have an account. You do have to have an account with these places, and that's not part of Optimal Resume, but if you have a Facebook account or you're on LinkedIn, you can come in here and use one of these to post your resume. The other module that you might like to look at is the portfolios, which when you go into Create New Portfolio, and you have to come in and give it a name. And then once you start your portfolio, you'll notice you have to make it up of, it's made up of projects. So you're going to give a project name to a particular piece of work or body of work that you're using. So you can come in and say whatever it's called. You can also describe the project, so if you have an audience that's going to be viewing it, they will have an idea of what the project is about. And then once you've described it, you can go in and add files to it. So if you already have existing Excel spreadsheets, or you have images from a photography class you'd like to upload, you can come in here and upload each file separately, or link your files from a website. And you can even tell the audience if there's a special software that's required to view the files. You can tell them that down here so that they don't get frustrated trying to look at something on your resume that they can't access. So each of the projects is made up of files, and then you have a portfolio made up of projects. So it's an interesting way to share work. If you've got a graphic or fine arts kind of background, you could use this for that and have that right in there with your resume. The interview module is another interesting part of the package. When you go into the interview module, you can actually go in here and you have to give your interview a name. So you can name it your name, whatever job you're going for. And when I go in here, it's actually going to ask me to pick the interview type that I would like. Interview type, so if I have a certain type of interview, I know I'm headed in for a final interview. This is the third one of 3. I can say, okay, it's my final interview. They're going to ask maybe 15 questions. I don't have a webcam on this particular machine, but if you need to have a webcam, you can have it set up and have a video and audio component to your interview, and you can actually select the person who's going to give you the interview questions. So I'm going to select Irene, but if I choose spoken and video recorded, then it will ask me to set up my webcam and my microphone. And at that point, it will then allow me to go ahead and see myself in the candidate box, and it will show the question, and I will be able to start the interview and answer the question as I go. At the end, you can view your interview questions and answers and see how you did, and it's a good way to practice getting prepared for an interview of various types. And you'll notice at the bottom there's a coach down here, so at any time if you're kind of stuck and you don't know how to answer a question, you can play the advice of this person who will kind of advise you how to go through answering a question of that type. And Optimal Resume allows you to create a website with all of your documents that they have stored. So you can put your resume on there, you can put some of your letters on there, your portfolios, and it actually allows you to do a template for the styling. So if you like blue or green, you can actually add a little bit of pizzazz by choosing a template. They have a couple different styles, and you can choose one and say, okay, I like this one. Once everything is created and you've got the website set up the way you want it, and you choose to activate the website, it will take a little while, but it will be picked up by the various search engines such as Google, and you could have people finding you by searching. Also, you can use the URL or website address that's provided if you wanted to just email this out to a potential employer, and that would take them right to your Optimal Resume page. And there are tutorials on the screens that you can access at any time when you're in there, and they do a small minute tutorial on each part of the program. So I found those very helpful when I started learning it, and very easy to follow. But the librarians are always here to help.